Hi there. This is a Link to the Past randomizer daily race, and we're doing a map compass small key shuffle. That's why it says MCS. Big Toby and Leslie Pro 04 are tonight's restreamed runners out of a pool of 14 players. Professor Render here, and this is Zevno. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking forward to this mode. This isn't something I've seen a lot of recently, so it's nice to see some of these different modes that we can play once in a while to show what this randomizer can really do.
Yeah, for sure. I have to make sure I hit the right one. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the gate here. So for those who aren't aware, map compass small key shuffle is, well, as the kind of name implies, we shuffle all the maps and compasses and small keys out of their respective dungeons, and they're now considered wild. The big keys they stay within their own respective dungeons, though. So that's because of that. Because of that, we have the key sanity tracker up because small keys are a thing.
Yeah, that definitely makes you start thinking about when you want to go into a dungeon, when you think you might be able to complete it. But the fact that the big keys are in their respective dungeons means a few dungeons may be just completable a lot earlier, or once you find the items you're looking for, you can just go mode because you know it's somewhere in that dungeon. It's that little bit different than that key sanity that you would normally see, where it would be map, compass, small, and big keys. Just a little different.
All right, here we go. This is starting this now. We have Piece of Heart in Link's house. Big Toby wanted to go just a little bit behind, just going to get the Sanctuary. Going to be 20 rupees though.
I love that we have different starts, showing off both the Sank start and the Uncle start, just to show what can be done.
Yeah, because this is map compass small key shuffle is typically played on the open logic, like other key sanity modes, which also includes cost keys. So we're gonna see the Uncle start from Leslie. This is a pretty popular one. This is also what we're saying for Big Toby is also pretty popular. Gets you the tree poles, which are just 5 rupees for tier 1, but Big Toby will get the bush crab, which is just a small magic refill, or a small magic decanter if you wanted to go in the whole, oh, this is SG live settings, which is not SG live settings.
Yeah, one of the things to kind of note with the Sank start, oh, that's a bow on Lumberjack. So for a second there,
that could be necessary.
Yeah, very well. Map checks are not going to work when maps are shuffled.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Big Toby can actually get a tier 2 or tier 3 tree pole here if they get a few kills, but looks like they will not be going that strat to try to get bombs out of the second tree.
Yeah, and looking like they want to go for the play that heads over to the left, from right to left. I've seen this strap in particular. If you have an early pedestal play, that will lead you directly over to the well. But it looking like I don't know if this is just gonna be fully committing to that, or just going off to the left, or rather the right, and back over to where Blind Hot's at. Okay, they're gonna go back to the right. Okay, so yeah, I've seen this route before. I've done it before, where you go right if you have a book and you have if you can do a pedestal pull or a pedestal check, you could go from right to left and then head straight over to the well, because that's just the thing I thought I kind of pioneered, but apparently I've seen someone else already did it, so I'm not the one who actually did it. So
that was interesting. Leslie debated getting that compass and then decided to go for it. Went towards away, and decided to pick it up anyway.
Yeah, and with key sanity modes, any dungeon item shuffle modes, the compasses aren't particularly useful. I'm
kind of surprised he went to get it, because there's really, we don't have boss shuffle enabled, so there's really no benefit to that compass.
Exactly, because because of the fact that we don't have a boss shuffle enabled because of the current patch that we're on, where you're able to see the boss of the dungeon if you have a compass on hand. Um, it's only good for boss shuffle, as you mentioned. So the only thing that really helps in that situation is if you don't have like a tracker or something to keep track of all the items, but it only keeps track of the items that you already picked up, not like specific. If it has this has a big key or compass or whatever the heck, in your or specific dungeons. If it's like something like that, yeah.
Now I have kind of a question. I missed it. Where did Leslie get the bombs?
I didn't keep. I wasn't keeping track either.
Because Toby bought bombs in Kakariko, which is what I kind of expected at that point. Oh, Chad is helping us out here. Thank you. The guards drop bombs.
That's actually really nice.
That's a huge find early for Leslie.
And it makes sense because we saw earlier. There's a Moon Pearl, by the way. That's
a nice item.
We saw earlier that Leslie went over to the Uncle Start and had picked and actually killed the guards along the way. So he knows that that there's bombs there. Or if another thing is that it could be that he may have found bombs along his routes, and I didn't really keep track of it. From the guards, at least.
It's just really nice to be able to pick up those bombs early. Knowing that you can do those 2 top north checks of Kakariko with the 2 bombs. And then in the event you don't find them, you can still buy them. But if you do find something, you don't really have to worry about it. And Leslie did find 3 more bombs, which is enough to clear this part of the world at least. We have found gloves and Moon Pearl, so we are a very good portion of the way over to Dark World access. We just need a hammer or another glove. Wouldn't you love to see our runners with 4 heart? Oh, actually, Leslie's got 5 hearts. 4 to 5 heart, green mail, no sword, no weapon, Dark World clearing. So, meanwhile, we're not finding much. I believe Toby has just gone straight for checking race game here. What have we got? It is powder. It's a nice safety. Gives you one more check down the road. Leslie also going for it. Toby saves and quits to Link's house. Gotta make sense. The race game generally is the end of the road of the northwestern road of this early game. Not going south, going to the east, going to probably check the island and go to eastern to Saha's closet at least. Is that a bottle? It was a bottle. Bottle with blue potion. This is a back of Hyrule Castle play, I believe, on Leslie's side. Yep. Drops all the way in. Meanwhile, Toby checking out Saha's closet. Gonna probably find out what the green pendant is. Talk to Saha here. Making me incorrect. But we did get a bottle. First bottle of the game. So Toby did not talk to Saha. So we do not know what that green pendant is.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is just because Big Toby isn't aware that he can do something like that, or maybe just there's other ideas in particular. Also, yes, I am aware that the audio is desynced. I'm gonna try and fix it here. It's not just you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely something to remember if you're in map shuffle modes. Finding out where that green pendant is could be pretty big. Chat is mentioning that Leslie may have found a pod small. I might have looked away right at that moment. That would be definitely something really interesting. Pod has a lot of keys, but pod can really help. Small key to ice right there for Leslie. That's actually really helpful. If we find Cane of Samaria, that small key really kind of helps in routing. Meanwhile, Toby is just following Leslie's footsteps. Leslie, meanwhile, is throwing bombs at worms. Mini Moldorm with bombs is not too bad. You wait till the last minute before throwing, you can generally hope they stay within your area. Doesn't always work, but... Small key to Tower of Hera. Oh, wow, that's a hammer. Okay, we just found Dark World access.
Yeah, that's that.
Weapon.
It's also a weapon. It isn't much, but it does work.
We can kill things now.
Well, yeah, but like you have a really small hitbox, even though yes, it's 10% store damage, but it's like you have a really small hitbox.
Oh, it's not exactly a pleasant weapon unless you've had a lot of practice with it, but hey, at least we can kill something. Previously, we would have just had to run away as fast as possible. Looks like Toby will be doing the back of escape with bombs.
Okay, hang on a second. Things are gonna go down. Things are gonna go down a little bit as I try to fix the audio desync. So hang tight.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Chat correcting me. I said back of escape, front of escape. It's front of escape. But, yeah, so one moment. We will be back very soon. We apologize for the slight blackout here.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to try to make sure everything's working in working order.
We should be back. Okay, I've got a little bit of info here, just trying to take a look. This was just, there was a small key to Ganon's tower in the back of Zelda's cell. Not quite sure what was in the rest of Escape. We will find that out as we go. Oh, I just early predicted an item. Sorry about that. You do not know what Toby is about to find.
Okay. It is okay. Audio is synced. Now we're good. We're good now. Apologies for the delay there.
But so Leslie's gonna go into Hyrule Castle as well. Going to have a much nicer time of this having a hammer. I missed a GT small key in Ice Rod Cave earlier, so that means we have 2 GT smalls already,
which is good. Although it's not particular. I mean, it's nice for routing's sake, because but even then, you're going to still have to look for a GT big in GT.
Yeah, but with 2 small keys, at least you know you can get a good way into it without having to do too much work.
Right, like I said, it's just it's good for routing.
Yeah, for sure. Our runners are just following in each other's footsteps now. They're going to find out what a few of these items here in Hyrule Castle were. Or just the one item, I guess. Oh, it's a compass. That's helpful. Oh, a GT. Even better. We have 2 Ice Palace Smalls. That's definitely something. That's both small, so we can full clear ice once we get the right items.
Okay, going into position to depth warp to the back. That's totally fine.
Oh yeah.
Though it might be a little bit precarious because you have a hammer and you only have 6 hearts to your name, and with no fire source, so it's going to be a little bit tough to navigate Darkross.
Yeah,
But
that's definitely not the easiest dark room, but it's definitely doable.
yeah, it's the only thing we have anyway. So, and that's why I thought, in the even when we were still fixing the technical issues, there was no fire source picked up. So, but I can imagine, considering how far Leslie's going through right now, that as long as he doesn't get bullied by the ropes and such,
There it is.
she should be good. Yeah.
That's the hardest part. That room right. Oh, it drops the B. It says, "Get out of my way."
I mean, there is merit to using it because it took care of it took care of some enemies along the way, and got 10 arrows out of Dark Cross. So yeah,
no, that's a beautiful place to use a B. You're probably not going to get good use out of a B through your entire run. Those dark rooms is a great place to get rid of enemies.
yeah, and especially considering it's a regular B, not a good B, because which usually whenever I get it, I just toss it out because they're effectively useless.
Yeah, here we go. We have Hype Cave. Is it hype? Money.
Probably not.
You got Cape. That's not bad. Small key to Meyer, ew. And, yeah. Money, small key to Meyer, Cape, and a shovel.
Invulnerability plus a fetch quest and a key that might come into play, like if it's good for routing, but I probably would if I was the someone who was actually rating the hype caves, which I don't do it normally. I would probably give it like somewhere like a lower ranking.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you want to see when you go in there as a runner, especially now. We're missing so many good items that you could just hope that something was in there and it just didn't. Let's see what Stumpy has here. Stumpy gave us money. The sick kid has a piece of heart. How did the sick kid get a piece of our heart?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, hold on. Chat saying we got a piece of sick kid's heart. No. I think sick kid had a piece of our heart. Money. Wow. Digging game giving us money left, right, and center here. Leslie going into Dark World from a completely different direction than Toby. We're seeing some nice route divergence between our two runners today.
Now, I would make the obvious Persona 5 joke, but I'm not going to do it.
Looks like we're getting our first look at Skull Woods. Oh, a skull underneath the bush. Always nice when the game decides to block your path. Toby looks like they will be following Leslie very soon. Okay. So, just while we're kind of waiting to see anything, just looking at these small keys. Hera's small we have, which is great. Our runners can go do a coffee break room. Wouldn't you be happy to do that room?
If we had a fire source.
Sure. But it just opens up the possibility later. That's the only thing that small key opens.
Yeah, it opens up the possibility to do Hera basements. Okay.
What were you? Leslie's death? That was a death ward.
No. I was referring to Big Toby. Apparently, somehow he stood on some tile that let him push, and there's push like stand on top of it, push against it, and before falling. I know it's possible to quick hop of it, and then you get a bit extra. You get more distance from it. It's possible to jump to if you're holding down, you can literally just like jump off the well, and you don't go in.
Oh yeah, I've had that. I've had if you mirror too close to the edge as well, I think you can just jump right over the pit.
Yeah.
That's always really unpleasant when you don't have a hammer. When you're doing it with mirror, you leave your portal behind and you just jump over the pit and have no way to get back.
You're speaking to someone who does glitch stuff a lot, and I know quick hopping is important for a couple of glitches.
Yeah.
Namely, Deathbound Ascent, the more common way of doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We really haven't found much in Skull Woods here. Last chance for a good item right here. And we found a... Oh, what a... Leslie accidentally hit the Wall Master with that pot. Waited to get grabbed and accidentally killed it.
I don't think that was his intention.
It looked like Leslie paused there to get warp back to the starting and just accidentally took out the Wall Master. Because it would have been a lot faster just to get Wall Mastered and walk out the front.
Right, yeah. But we'll have to ask if that was actually his intention.
Well, I definitely don't think Leslie was looking for the Wall Master to drop right at that moment.
Right, yeah.
You just kind of pick up the pots, you throw them, and then, oops.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you hold on. Using that small key could be a bit of a problem, actually.
We get boots out of brewery, and I laughed a little bit because we have a book on top of bumper ledge, and that is totally obtainable with the cape that we got from Hype Cave.
Well, the other thing about that too is that we found a big key. Desert is a crystal, so once we find a fire source, that'll be completable with that book.
Yes, that is also true.
But what I was saying is that using that key to get back to the front on Leslie's side is going to cause a bit of a problem later in Skull Woods if we don't find some of those other small keys.
There is a small key that is under the pots on your way out to the back.
Yeah, but Leslie's only picked up one and has wasted the one on that key. on that door.
Oh wait, did he actually pick up the pot that's like on your way out of like the right side, like towards the middle, heading towards the back of Skull? I didn't see
Oh, I
that.
don't know about that one.
Yeah, because I know, because even if you
Yep, yeah, he did.
okay, so
Right, chat.
okay, yeah, so that in particular is a situation where yeah, that's actually a very valid concern.
Well, like when you think about it, Leslie opened the left door to get to the back using one key, the one that's on the tracker, and then you open the right door with a second key of some sort, right?
Yeah.
So it had to be that one. So yeah, there's that's where that wall master would have been coming real handy, not to use that small. Leslie's, I'm assuming the hope is just that there will be another reasonable skull with small keys somewhere along the way.
I always will mention this. Like I love this sprite. I love this Jack Frost sprite that Leslie Plow is using. But I love the fact that if you get bunny beamed, you turn into the little enemy icon for the entirety of the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Yeah, that's a kind of cool bunny sprite.
And you know the only Shin Megami Tensei game I played is literally Persona 5. Even though I never got really fought, I only stopped at like the first dungeon because I was meaning to play it again, but never got a chance to do it. But I want to play it. I do want to actually play through an entire Shin Megami Tensei game. I know Shin Megami Tensei 5 is around, even if the story isn't not all that good, but the gameplay is there. Other than that, though, both of them are in Thieves Town. Big Toby already going through the attic.
Yeah, they're just a little behind each other, so Toby's getting all the information for us, and Leslie's just a few seconds behind here. Ooh, getting a little bit blocked by the enemies in this room. Toby's side.
Yeah, just trying to play a little safe here. That's totally fair. You only have 6 hearts, green male.
Yeah, and currently at 3. That's a pretty easy way to die here, especially when you know you're doing hammer blind in a moment.
On both plays, yeah, like both. But the only thing to keep in mind too is that Leslie only does not have that cape that Big Toby has in Hype Cave, that he got from Hype Cave. Now, and also doesn't have a whole lot of magic to go with it.
You're right. With in between rounds, on the other hand, too. Okay, well, first of all, Toby not picking up the pots. There's a lot of health in that room. If you're ever low on health, good idea to pick up those pots. But the only thing is that you really can't attack while you're using that cape, so that would really only help you between phases on the most part.
Exactly. Yeah, that is exactly correct. The only time you have the cape on, the only reason why you have that cape to begin with is if you have a sword. So we're gonna see what happens. This is gonna be this is gonna be a really tough fight. And if both players end up dying, I would not be surprised if they just both back out. And yeah, like literally, yeah.
Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah.
It definitely, if you are not comfortable with blind, with hammer, that's a rough fight.
And understandably, Big Toby just leaves.
Yeah. I mean, that extra little bit of health definitely might have helped a little bit, but it looked like they're just not comfortable enough with it at the moment.
Yeah, and totally understandable because it.
Yeah.
Because so here's the thing: I have never actually completed a hammer blind fight.
I have. It was unpleasant. I got lucky, I think. But.
Yeah, the one thing that to keep in mind with that fight too is that you have to do that. You actually have to win this fight on swordless, and Leslie Pro actually does manage to complete the fight.
Yeah, but Leslie did pick up those extra hearts. Did come in at full health. That definitely helps to some extent. Just going in knowing you have that extra 1 to 2 hits before
Yeah, yeah, and as we found out that Leslie Bro did strike first blood because that was a crystal.
That's one way to find out that it's a crystal. Just defeat the boss. Then you'll know.
Yeah, just beat the boss, Forehead.
Leslie picking up those boots. Definitely happy to find them. Probably wished he had them for that dungeon, but
yeah, in swordless play, you have to use the hammer no matter what, or you can also use a cape or no, not cape, Samaria or Burna. Yeah, you're not limited to it, but in situations where you don't have those options, you're forced to use the hammer.
Yeah, Burna is a really nice way to get rid of blind if you're really short on items, just because you get both the invulnerability and the fact that blind doesn't care how much damage you do, just that you do 3 damage 3 times.
Yeah, it's you for this the blind fight's special in that fact that it only takes 9 hits to defeat him. It doesn't, regardless of regardless of the damage type or the damage table. It's just any legal weapon that can attack blind, which excludes bows for one thing, or fire eyes or stuff like that. It will count towards the total amount of hits.
Yeah. That said, a lot of runners that have a sword know the script. They know exactly where blind's going to be when they move, and it's not too rough to get through. But if you're swordless, that makes a huge difference. Like these runners right here.
Yeah, and we've seen swordless play before in the league during our playoffs. We've seen it countless times. Like some of the player, we've seen it like I don't think countless amount of times. We've seen it happen from time to time, mostly in favor in like other modes like hard randomizer or hard MC shuffle, stuff like that. But that it is one of the playoff modes that you get that playoff teams of the power and game 4 matches can play.
Yeah. I just want to comment on the fact that Leslie just found out that Thieves Town was actually a red crystal, and the other one is Mire.
And so is Mire, yeah. So that even though it doesn't show on the actual screen, I kind of wish it did. Like when you actually pick up the crystal, I kind of wish it did. That was in fact a red crystal.
Yeah, because of quick swap, our runners don't really have to. Ooh, that looked like Leslie was trying something there with the boots, but our runners don't really have to. Ooh, that was a lamp. I'm never going to finish this sentence. Our runners don't really have to check the menu very often because of quick swap, and as a result, it can be kind of hard to find out when you randomly accidentally picked up a red crystal.
Exactly. Yeah.
You find out later when all of a sudden you're going, "Oh, the big bomb is here."
Yeah, it's like the weird it's like that trope that you see in TV. It's like, oh, I get this, I do XYZ. Oh, I find out that ABC happened. Well, after the fact. And maybe sine cosine tangent also happened too. In theta.
Yeah. Chat brought up actually a good point here. We do not have the Thieves Town small key, so that's actually out of logic. Because we theoretically could have not gone to attic, opened the big chest, and then not been able to crack the floor open yet.
Yeah, but who cares about key logic? Or who cares about
it's just something to note. The game would not expect you to have been able to complete that yet. Leslie just skipped the big chest and decided to finish the dungeon.
Yeah, there's no logic is merely just a suggestion. It's even more of a suggestion if you play no logic. It literally just straight up says there's no logic. You're not supposed to complete this unless you abuse glitches.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's just, for these runners, it's kind of an interesting thing. We didn't find anything good on blind, so that doesn't really help us. Had we found an important item on blind, that actually could have made a difference in terms of their routing.
You know, it's funny because I'm talking about no logic is that I actually recently completed a no logic seed for myself, both key lock and regular. Although the regular no logic ended up just being like it's just a situation where it's just actually using the hyper magic glitches stuff, not actual no logic stuff.
Definitely can happen. Catfish, not a check we always get very early. Oh, another bottle.
We take those.
Yeah, and it's actually filled with green goose, so that's not bad.
BRB are going to go ahead and YBA over to spin YBA over to Blammo. Just kidding.
Yeah, to be clear. For newer viewers, that is a glitch that is run in some of the glitch modes. It is definitely not a glitch allowed in our current mode.
And in the no glitches sets, which really should just be considered minor glitches, should really be just minor glitches, which is because you can still use minor glitches.
But
and yes, what I said it does actually hold merit because you can in fact get over to do Lambolas if you perform what's referred to as a spin YBA from the Popo genocide room.
Leslie using the sign to kill that enemy that I only know as a murder-dactyl. I don't actually know their proper name.
There isn't. I always call it a murder-dactyl as well. I know it has a proper name, and I'm too lazy to actually check.
I do not know what it is, but that enemy has killed me more times than most specific enemies in this game. So, but Leslie getting the book using the quick way to dispose of that Dark World bird.
It's called a Dacto.
Dacto. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, that sign does one-shot it, and even if you have a sword, it is probably the easiest way to get rid of it. Meanwhile, Leslie going to desert?
I can see it because it is possible to clear it,
and it is a crystal. We did. Oh wow. Okay, it's a crystal. It's possible to clear it, and here's the surprise: it has mitts.
So that actually does open up the world even more so. And by the time Leslie goes up to the mountain, he'll have flute, which Big Toby had picked up.
Yeah, finding that flute at the same time while I'm looking over on the right side, that Toby has found the flute. No, we have both ways to get up the mountain.
Toby does have the boots. Just to answer a question in chat, I don't know if they're not aware that they have. Oh no, they're aware. Okay.
Just choosing not to use them in that moment.
Mirror. We have mirror out a big key chest of desert.
Okay. That's a big find. So we found mitts and a mirror on Leslie's side here in desert. That's pretty huge. Okay. Oh, that was very close on Toby's side.
I was more worried that the wind up time for the cape would end up killing Toby.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. There's that little bit of a delay when you switch items before you can use it. And in a case like that, when you're standing on spikes, that little delay can be really unfortunate.
Yeah, I was saying in my mind that Toby wasn't going to be able to make it all the way, but somehow, some way, that the delay ended up. I don't know if the delay actually happened, because I can't. It's hard to tell. But or just something that or the delay just went out, gone away. Period. And or maybe just that's my imagination, but fluid activation for Big Toby.
Meanwhile, Leslie's heading to the back of Desert.
Eventually, Big Toby will want to get that book, because that actually because the mirror is in it's in the big key chest of Desert. That means logically you need the book to complete it, which also means that logically you need the cape to get that.
The only thing is, I'm not sure Toby actually looked at it.
No, because Big Toby never went up towards North Dark World.
So if you're cheering for Toby here, you're really hoping this is a North Dark World check after Skullwoods.
See, this is I mentioned this a couple of times. I'll mention this a lot too. Also, the pendant is on ice. There's a pendant on ice.
Yep.
But
a little more info.
But I will mention this too, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power in this game. If you have the knowledge, if you see that the book is on there, and if you see the book is on there, as early as possible, you'll use that to your advantage. However, if it's a situation where, in the Big Toby situation, because they never went up to North Dark World, they don't have that information. So it'll be later for them to get it, if they even get over there.
That's the Yep, sorry.
Which is possible. Which looks like they're gonna head down there. So they will have information. It won't. They will get the information if they go that. Yeah. Okay. So they'll have information. This is something that if this was any later, they'd probably be thinking, "Oh, I could have done this a long time ago." And I don't know if.
Meanwhile, Leslie did complete the second crystal in Desert, so that's 2 crystals there.
Oh, this will be painful.
The Dacto dodged the sign,
and in the process, and the Dacto didn't like it, and takes the fall for it.
This is why we call them murder dactyls.
Yeah, because we're still on green mail. We have not seen a sword, or B, a mail upgrade.
Toby, gonna go refill potions here.
This is understandable, considering the amount of trouble that they're having so far.
Yeah, taking a few deaths.
The
only problem is that book is super important. So Toby's gonna have to spend a bunch of time getting back to that book now.
Yeah, it's not just super important. It's required by logic. It is 100% required, because I mentioned earlier with the mirror being in Desert Palace.
Yeah. I missed that chat breaking up. King's Tomb had the map of Hyrule Castle. Well, that's not under the doormat, is it?
In some parallel universe, I guess.
If you can get there first, you can have the map.
Some parallel universe. No, not parallel worlds. That's a ROM hack. But some parallel universe that is probably not QPU aligned. That says so. Does anyone remember when anyone remember the whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm QPU aligned, I'm not QPU aligned, because it was because funny 0.5 A press thing by a Mario 64 streamer or a YouTube
Not
channel.
something I remember, unfortunately.
Oh, this was good. It's kind of funny. It's pretty funny. I remember this doing it like a lot back in the day. It was like it was last decade actually. Okay, so
Leslie, you better go find out where the flute is.
Yeah, so this is great for Leslie, which again is also a case of the lamp is also required by logic because of the flute being locked on the mountain.
Yes, but this is one of those cases where most of our runners will just ignore the logic and ignore the fact that they needed the lamp.
Yeah, I know, but just for sake of completeness, that is required by
Yes.
logic.
Definitely required for logic. Lamp is probably the one item that tends to be required in most seeds that runners just ignore completely because they know how to get around the dark rooms. Between that climb, between Mire, Pod, a whole bunch of Eastern, there are a lot of rooms that Turtle Rock. There are a lot of rooms that require lamp by logic that our runners may just walk through without it if they need to.
So we're looking for a bow. We still have that bow that's on top of Lumberjack Ledge, which could be required if we find two
Pods of
swords at
crystal.
least.
Pods of crystal. We need the bow.
Yeah,
There.
for sure. But it's still possible that a bow could show up along the way.
For sure.
Uh,
But we need one somewhere.
Yeah, the only
need.
So the only way for the bow to be necessary is if A is bow locked or B it's locked behind Ganon's tower.
Oh boy. What, you want the second bow behind Ice Armos or something?
Well, it's possible that the bow it's possible for the other bow to show up on Ice Armos, but the more likely situation is that it's somewhere that is bow locked.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It could even just be in the back of Pod somewhere.
That too. If it's not bow locked, if Pod's not bow locked, so.
Well, even if it is, our runners probably know how to get around that particular glitch, so they can get through that if they need to.
Right, but of course, it's not required. It's not expected by the logic, but just again for sake of completeness.
Oh, for sure. You'll notice if you're listening to this and you're a newer runner, there are a lot of things you can do in this game that you don't need to do. The game does expect that you can complete this without doing any of these glitches, without knowing any of these extra tricks. So if you're looking at getting into it, definitely don't worry about all of that. The game does not expect you to do any of that up front. So we're gonna see a Moldorm fight here on Leslie's side coming up in a little bit.
This is a fight that's not like it's not horrible. It's a very straightforward fight if you just play it safe.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I found when I was initially playing. I really hated fighting Moldorm with a hammer, and then after I did it a few times, it's like, wait, this is actually easier than fighting with a Master Sword. Here we go. Moldorm fight incoming. Toby having a little bit of problems opening this door. That's one. It'll be 3 hits with the hammer. That's 2. And charge, turn, got it, 3. And we found a compass. That's not helpful.
But moreover, it is a crystal.
Yeah. Now, I didn't quite notice. Did you notice if we found 2 items in here?
It doesn't really take out the two, take out. I think
Oh,
everything except for the big key.
5 items. Yeah. So I guess it has to be an item in the basement as long as we found big key, which we did. You are correct.
Yeah, because just in case anyone's aware, and just in case anyone's not aware, normally this dungeon has 2 items in it, but since we took out small keys, maps, and compasses, this is actually 5, not
there's
6.
There's 6 items in this dungeon. There are 5 items and the big key. So since we found the big key, everything else had to be an item of some sort. It could be something completely useless, like another compass, or it could be something helpful, like the fire run, or anything in between. Meanwhile, Toby fighting Lanmo with a hammer.
I swear I didn't roll swordless by accident.
Oh, look! Another key to pod. More and more looking like we may need that. More and more looking like we may need that bow. We just need 1 sword to put Aga into logic here. Also,
yes, I did roll this. I'm also the one who's trying to hold this this thing together, this whole thing together, this whole restring together.
Yeah, I think at this point the runners may not be happy with your rolling skills here.
What are you talking about? I've always, they never really liked me rolling. I'm pretty infamous for rolling bad seeds.
Just, giving them this massive swordless mess with no rods, no hook shot, no boomerangs for stunning. We got like very few safeties.
We have Quake required for Meyer.
Well, we have that, so that's not too bad. What do we have here? In Meyer Shed. We are... Okay, chat is saying we found Cane of Samaria, but I see Cane of Burna lit up here. Okay. Yeah, it's just the tracker. Probably just taking a click in a weird place. We found Cane of Samaria on the Leslie side. That's big.
That's a nice spot for it too, and that actually now means we can complete the dungeon. Meyer.
Yeah, but like that allows us to complete Meyer. That could allow us to complete Turtle Rock. It allows us to speed up in Swamp is a green, and I missed part of that's the only thing that I think.
Yeah, the green pen we knew.
Yeah,
the green pen we knew about.
So sorry about that, but yeah, Cane of Samaria, it allows us to do Meyer. Technically, it can let us finish Turtle Rock. It speeds up Ice Palace and can help in Swamp. It's kind of a nice item to find. And look at that! It's a weapon! As Leslie's showing off right here.
It's really powerful, especially against living things. No, I am not going to take back what I said about... I'm not taking back the Resident Evil reference.
Yeah, just on that note, when we were talking about the canes there and the tracker, gotta shout out Akuhaish, who's been helping us out today with the tracking. Definitely a really important thing to have.
Oh,
I'm
do
sorry,
we?
did Leslie just not open Turtle Rock?
No. I'm probably on the return.
Just weird, because he was standing like right on top of almost the medallion thing. Just open it while you're there, right?
Hey, there's
Either
finally a
now
sword.
instead.
There is actually a sword for once.
Oh, you're right. You need a sword.
Exactly.
Right, you needed a sword to do that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I admittedly I forgot too. So like
How
now
often do you get to the Turtle Rock entrance without a sword?
the actual key under the doorstep, a sword. I mean, come on, keys are metal, swords are made of metal.
But yeah, sorry. So thank you to our tracker today. It's definitely it's a huge thing that helps us out so that we actually know what we're talking about, especially in small key shuffle modes.
Jot my memory again. Where did we find bombos?
Oh, we found it early.
Yeah, because that. So if it's a if this is a crystal, then it is required. Then yeah, it's required.
We found it really early. I could have sworn it was somewhere that is Toby on the wrong pixel?
Yeah, this is the wrong side. This is the wrong side. He won't be able to. He won't be able to. He won't be able to get through.
That's what I thought. I know this from having done it myself. When you're learning how to do this, you will do this a lot. If it happens to you as a learning player, it's fine. Okay, chat saying Toby has bombos. I feel like it was somewhere obvious in the overworld checks. Oh yeah, it's there. Okay.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to double check to make sure I wasn't crazy. But yeah, both players can in fact go into Turtle Rock, which by fire out this Turtle Rock isn't as bad of an idea as some people make out to be, because depending on the key layout, you will depending on the key layout, you will get locked out in like pretty quickly.
Yeah,
However,
it does let you get rid of some of these checks so that you know that there wasn't anything important in the front here that.
However,
Leslie's already out of keys, so this could be the end of the show.
Yeah, but this is especially the case with a key sanity, like with a key sanity mode. It makes it under normal circumstances. Again, it's not a bad idea because under like without any dungeon item shuffled, this is actually it's actually a good idea because there you get locked out pretty quickly, and the only troublesome thing is that if you're expecting to get locked out early and you don't get like a big key or something, you will have to go all the way and actually wastes your time. So that's a problem.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Toby spent quite a bit of time setting that up, but does get the jump. If you fall in that hole, you will fall 2 floors down, which is extremely unpleasant.
Saw's Claws had the bombos medallion, according to one of our trackers. It might have been missed due to when we had to fix the audio issues that was happening earlier.
That's definitely possible. And Saha's Closet also makes a lot of sense, as it did, as I mentioned. I thought it was somewhere in the overworld that they would have checked. And here it is, Toby following up with the Hammer Moldorm. Okay, so where's Leslie heading while Toby is on 2 out of 3 hits on this Moldorm, and there's 3. That is the second crystal for Toby. just that one Thief's Town finish behind Leslie in crystals.
Yeah, because Big Toby had taken a death early to that fight, and chose to leave, which again makes sense, which is fine because which is totally understandable because it's not an easy fight. The Heimer Pine fight's not easy,
especially if you're coming into it from the bottom. At least if you're doing the initial fight, you have the chance to start above blind, get 1 or 2 free hits in. if you're coming into it a second time, you have to actually do it from scratch and somehow get to his head.
Yeah, and it's also considering that this Beethoven is still relative, it's still pretty new to the game, so and it is also kind of a hard fight to do even as a new player.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's a hard fight. So that's one of those things, and we mentioned it earlier, and you were saying it doesn't fully matter, but it's also out of logic. So you can take that moment and say, you know what, it's an out of logic check. I don't have the items that I'm comfortable fighting it. Why don't I just come back later when I actually have the items and or it's in logic?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, Big Toby is actually wanting to use the block as the weapon of choice for these enemies, which normally you could just you'd rather just like go past anyway. It's not in a huge deal. Thanks Leslie for showing off the little thing where if you smack the spiff on the head with a hammer, it says something.
Yep. Oh, Leslie not quite getting that hammer dash as planned.
Though honestly, I will admit that the thing where there's another sword finally.
Oh wow, we went straight to Master Sword. Basically, that was pretty fast for Leslie.
And Toby will get his first sword, get their first sword there as well.
I'm just gonna mention that Aga is in logic after the first sword. Forget the second sword.
Yeah, you can now complete Aga 1 if you really want that bow.
Yeah, really want that. That might just be the way to go here. We're starting to run out of things to check.
Yeah, it might just be in a situation where you need to kill Aga 1.
There really isn't that much left.
Exactly. And it's also their chat's reminding us too that even if we want to do Castle Tower, we need the 2 Castle Tower keys.
Yeah. Small key sanity. Yeah, or small key shuffle. Sorry about that. Small key shuffle. That thing exists, right?
I mean, you are correct in saying it is a small key sanity.
Yeah, but that means something else to some runners, so it'll be to be the most clear.
And yes, Leslie did leave the chest, but there is a reason why. I've always heard it saying it's a glitch, but I just think of it as an oversight. It's not like a big glitch at all. It's like calling a Trojan a virus. But it's the thing where because when you as soon as you mirror, the follower flag is never set, is never reset once you drop the purple chest. So it'd be saying you don't have a follower. And if you mirror the spot where the purple chest guy happens to spawn in the overworld, you can still pick it up. And there's quite a large range where it could still spawn, even if he's outside the screen.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little thing. It lets you dash around because you can't dash with the purple chest. So
right.
It's a great way to get around the world, and yeah, just abusing that little fact that the follower flag is not properly reset.
Yeah.
The one thing, that fact that follower flag is not reset can be real annoyance if you accidentally try to do something that requires a follower, something like digging game, because it'll break you out of it until you actually reset it.
You mean it's something that you don't need a follower flag for?
Well, yeah, it's something that requires a follower flag to be set, because digging game gives you a shovel follower, I think. Invisible.
I don't think it does. I don't think it actually does set up follower flag to that.
Maybe not, but it needs an empty follower flag one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think there's never a way. I know it says that the guy says don't don't. You're not supposed to have a follower on you when you're attempting to do the dead game. And that's actually what ticked me off on the fact that, oh wait, I still have the purple chest. I touched the purple chest. I'm trying to do dead game. Oh wait, I still can't do it because my follower flag is still set to the purple chest. It's just that little oversight that is left in. So we're gonna see Big Toby going back to Thieves Town. Gonna get that clear out of the way.
Yeah, with the sword and cape together, this is a pretty decent fight now. Still not the most pleasant, but definitely completable.
On top of the fact that we also have half magic
and Samaria,
that right
away,
which I don't know.
That's not high enough.
Yeah, it's not high enough. I think the reasoning is, wait, why are you still? I'm actually kind of confused because you can use the Samaria beams as a way of damaging them, as well as the block itself. But I don't know if this isn't swordless.
Yeah, an unscripted fight can be a little rough. So using Samaria can make that a little bit easier.
I mean, of course, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to root against the Big Toby. Both runners are doing really well as it is. Oh, there's flippers.
Swamp is a pendant, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's also ice, but. Eh.
Yeah, for the rest of it, we can just minor glitch around the flippers. It's just Swamp that really needs them.
Right, and like I said, like I mentioned, it's not. They're both of them are good runners, and you definitely should follow them. But I just kind of find it interesting that Big Toby is not using the sword, for any of these fights.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but Toby was also not using the hammer a lot early, so
that
could just be a style right now.
Or it could also be a comfort issue. Like it could be that Big Toby isn't comfortable using the hammer as a weapon, right? As the most currently the only viable weapon that you can really use for high damage. So it's in that case, Big Toby is using some augments like Samaria or something similar to it. Instead of actually using a weapon that's actually it should be more consistent, like the sword.
Yeah. No, definitely the hammer, as we mentioned earlier, or as you mentioned earlier, is not a pleasant weapon to use until you get really comfortable with it. The hitbox is awkward.
Yeah, I'll kind of repeat what I said earlier. The hammer using the hammer as a weapon is very, very unwieldy. Yes, it does temper sword damage, but it also you're not turning in the. Oh, this must be midway through. Okay, interesting way of doing it. But yeah, but hammer is very unwieldy as a weapon because it tempers sword damage, but the hitbox is very, very small. So it's a case of if you trade away. Oh, there's hookshot.
Yeah, that's big.
Oh. But I'm able to finish this. I'm never gonna finish this. But but if you so it takes a lot of time to practice the fact that you have this really small hitbox. It's also very inconsistent because left and right is perfectly fine, but up and down it switches because depending on what you're facing. How I like to interpret it is you're focused on Link's left hand. So if you're facing up, it's going to be up into the left a bit, and if you're facing down, it's down and into the right.
Yeah, I find down isn't too bad. It's the up hitbox that just it doesn't hit where you think it's going to be.
Yeah, like I mentioned, up into the left.
Yeah, it's just something like when when runners have to do something like hammer cold stare, you can just accidentally get a nice little hug, or hammer vitreous on the small eyes. You can just get nice little hugs where you think the hammer should have stopped the enemy.
Yeah, it's a matter of I would probably say if you haven't downloaded the practice hack for A Link to the Past, you definitely should and actually practice some of those fights because because that will be used in stuff like low percent in low percent situations. This is what, for all intents and purposes, a low percent situation for what Utopia is doing.
We finally got into a second line of hearts here on Leslie's side, which is nice.
Yeah, and it looks like he was thinking that I don't know if I don't know if Bitobi is aware that he can't finish up Castle Tower because he needs some smalls.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think he checked a Dark Cross yet.
No, Dark Cross was never checked.
We did check Dark Cross.
We did get a Castle Tower key from Meyer, I think.
Yeah, but at that point, if you're gonna do the back, if you're gonna do the back of escape there, just do it from the back end. It's so much faster.
Yeah, we're dealing with. So I think I kind of missed it. I did see. I kind of noticed that Leslie has the Castle Tower key. I reckon it's from. It would have to been from Meyer though.
I'm not sure, but Leslie's taking a good amount of damage on this Vidi fight. Speaking of hammer Vidi, but we made it. No bow. Easiest way to defeat Vidi is with a bow. This is a very annoying fight without one.
Yeah, I could honestly, in the second fight, you could just stay where you are, standing up, and just facing up, and then just start spamming your sword. It's not. It shouldn't be that tough, but Vidi's Leslie has other plans. Go ahead and finish that fight up though. Eastern map.
Toby is checking the one available check in Aga Tower.
Yeah, but gets Bloom out of it.
Oh, that's help. That's not going to work. But mail upgrade. That's nice.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about what Toby must have not realized that this. If you're on small key shuffle, you have to get the 2 Castle Tower keys. This is a map of combo shuffle where you could just still get the keys regardless.
Yeah, I mean I don't have a tracker set up for this right now, but like we forgot about that for a moment too when we were talking about it. It's an easy little thing to forget.
I don't have one either, but I do have code tracker, a code tracker session from when I was playing No Logic Keylock earlier. So,
but it definitely, if you're a newer runner, definitely make sure you set up a tracker, track all that kind of stuff. It'll definitely help you knowing where you can and can't go. Not these runners are doing a very good job, and that's not the intent of anything about that. But if you want to learn, since we're talking about trackers, it's definitely a helpful thing.
Trackers are essential, or some of the most essential tools if you're ever going to play any randomizer, and not just Link to the Past randomizer, but like other games like Final Fantasy 1 Rando, Final Fantasy 4 Free Enterprise, Chrono Trigger Jets of Time, Super Mario RPG randomizer, Zelda 1 randomizer, stuff like that. Any randomizer that has items shuffled, a tracker is your lifesaver. Emo tracker is the best. It's one of the most well-known and I think the most popular trackers to use, and it's also very customizable. I mentioned Code Tracker. That's actually a special plugin, a special version of a tracker for emo tracker that it adds a lot of different things for all sorts of different modes, like niche modes. Okay, so Leslie Pro is going to go ahead and get the blue mail from the Castle Tower, but we'll also get one extra check along the way. So
Leslie is able to get 2 of the items.
yes.
Going to get the mail, and then going, oh, wow, that is a real color change on the sprite with the mail.
Yep, but the Jack Frost sprite turns into Black Frost, and the red mail will turn into King Frost.
Makes sense. Just a heart. Wouldn't it have been amazing if that was the other's castle small?
That would be a pretty big play and a pretty big move, and that would also be a pretty unfortunate situation for Big Toby.
Yeah, so Leslie looked like he was taking a minute there just to figure out where to go next. Is this an ice play? It is an ice play.
Makes sense.
No, it's not.
Along the way, this will be a. Okay, so this is I think proximity check.
Zora area.
I
don't think we've seen anyone up there yet, actually.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Okay.
That's big.
Yeah, that means we don't need to worry about that bow anymore. On the tower.
Yeah, no one's doing Aga now.
Yeah,
okay, and Leslie's not doing Aga.
No, Leslie's not going to do
Aga. Where that CT small is, and when Toby checks that particular cave, that could mean something else.
Yeah. But in this case, there's no way Leslie probably goes and gets this.
No.
There was another castle. Another small key. No, that could lead to swamp.
Leslie does not have money for Zora.
Yeah, right, but it's a Thieves Town small.
Okay, that puts that in logic.
Yes, and the logic is gonna make the logic's gonna makes no sense. Oh, the logic makes no sense because we got flippers somewhere. It was from Meyer. It was from Meyer, right?
Yeah, the game did not expect us to do Thieves Town until much later than we did, but
yeah, logically
it's fine.
Logically you're supposed to finish up Thieves Town like later on, as you mentioned.
After Meyer.
That's
quite late.
Yeah. And yeah.
Now, what if there is something important in that Thieves Town big chest?
If that is necessary, that pretty much is that's
last location.
A last location, yes. Because leaving out the Thieves Town big is leaving out Thieves Town big is pretty bad. Because that could it's one of those moments where like it's like Hera Basement or something similar to it, where it's gonna sit in your mind for a long time, and it's gonna be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, you're always gonna be thinking about what's that item that I left behind over there.
Right.
You're never gonna want to go get it, and like logically, it's not a good play to go back and get it because it takes so much time and really doesn't get you anything additional. But it's always on your mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the dark. It's being in the dark recesses of your mind, and it's gonna be absolutely terrible.
What if that Go Mode item is still sitting there in Thieves Town?
Exactly. Actually, speaking of Go Mode, we're looking we're looking at Fire Rod, potentially Ice Rod for Go. Now this will be dependent on on one of the clears, or if we get a Skullwoods map or a Turtlerock map.
Yeah, and we will need a Fire Rod, though, as you mentioned, for sure, because we will need to complete at least either Skullwoods or Turtle Rock, both of which need Fire Rod.
Yes. So theoretically speaking, we're looking at a Go -1 or a Go -2.
And since we have both medallions that we need, we know that we won't need Ether. Getting an Ice Rod cave check over on Toby's side.
Speaking of Ice Rod, we found Ice Rod on the big key chest at Pod.
Ah, well, we're definitely one item from Go mode on Leslie's side.
Yeah, this is now you're for sure it's Fire Rod Go.
Wait, hold on. You say that. Do we have all the small keys we need?
Oh, that's true, right? Because I think in Map Compass Small Key Shuffle you need all of the keys.
Wait, Leslie, because of that key that was used early on that door, because he killed the Wallmaster, may need a Skullwood Small.
You're right. Oh no! Oh no!
that Skullwood wasted key could literally stop Leslie from being in Go mode. If Skullwoods is the last crystal.
Yeah. So what you're hoping for, if you're rooting for Leslie, is you're hoping that the Skullwoods is a pendant, not a crystal. But
that's awkward.
Yeah. And Big Toby got the bow, so no, neither one of our players are going to be going into getting that Castle Tower bow.
That's good. As much as I'm sure chat would have loved to see that, that's good for our runners. Toby will be able to show off what Zora had, though.
Yeah. Want to be a little cautious though, because does not want to take. You don't want to take damage while you're in this water box, say, because you will. If you're on the water, you're going to get. You will get. You'll be stuck on that water because you don't have flippers. Just 20 rupees.
But Toby will not be able to get the. Oh well, actually.
No, it's possible. It's not possible, unless. Okay, no.
Hold on.
Splash to leap.
Yeah, no. We can do that. We have bow and bombs. But looks like Toby will not even try to get that small.
Swamp Small. We got Swamp Small from the Terrapin room.
Oh, there's the Fire Rod. Okay, so Leslie is in maybe Go mode.
Schrodinger's go.
This could be really unfortunate if Leslie finds out that Skullwoods is the last crystal. That is extremely unfortunate.
Now there's tempered too.
Tempered. Okay.
So one other thing is that one thing that could also happen is that Leslie could get bailed out by a potential Skullwood Small. like I just said it.
There it is. Okay. There it is.
I was just gonna say. I
there it is.
Bailed out.
Yeah, we're like, well, the small key. I was gonna say the small key could just show up somewhere along the route. There it is. We're in Go mode.
Let's Go mode.
But look, it's Pod. Of course, it has the item you need. Be it pendant, be it crystal, Pod always has it.
Exactly. I'm sorry for breaking it like that, but like, jeez. I was commenting about it, and then it just happens.
Yeah, look, we have commentators' curses all the time. Every once in a while, commentators can give positive items to our runners.
especially if the commentator in person is the one who actually rolled the seed, which is me.
No. That's just an additional curse. But we have our runners in different dungeons, actually. Toby is actually completing a dungeon that Leslie has not gone into yet.
Yeah.
Leslie will be there in 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah. So at this point, it does not matter what. So Leslie could choose which dungeon to clear. If I would reckon, you would clear Skull first, because after the pod Eastern clears. But after that's cleared, I would reckon you go to Skullwoods. If you go Skullwoods, then you can at least be safe in the you can at least finish the dungeon, and if it's crystal, then good, you actually got bailed out hard. And if it's not, then well, at least we had the confirmation earlier that regardless of the small key, if the small key was picked up or not, this was still clearable.
Yeah, I do want to just mention something that was discussed in chat quickly too. With 3 Turtle Rock keys, Leslie can finish the dungeon.
Right.
We just need to steal the Poke Key. That is perfectly fine. And since Leslie knows that he's in go mode, that won't even be in question.
Right. Logically, you need all 4 of the small keys to actually be able to complete it. So as long as you don't accidentally touch the door when it happens, touch the door to actually unlock the door for the lava chest.
Yeah, it's completable. So, and that's all we really need right now.
Or so another thing to keep in mind too is that if the Turtle Rock big is actually behind the lava chest, then you actually need that 4th key.
Oh, you are right. It is. You are right. If it is a vanilla Turtle Rock big key with a Turtle Rock crystal, Leslie is not in go mode.
This is actually dependent on, and this is dependent on if Skullwoods is not a crystal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something too. We're not going to find that out for a while because Leslie, as I mentioned, is going to go right into Eastern after doing pod. This is the only thing that makes sense after that particular play.
Which also means that Pedestal could still have it.
Could what?
The Pedestal could still have the Turtle Rock small, I think.
No ped.
Swamp. We have our swamp small.
Yeah, assuming that Turtle Rock is the crystal, yeah, that we need to do it to get it. You are right. It should be able to be there.
Swamp small. We have our swamp small. We have 2. We don't care about the amount of keys for ice. It's mainly for helping with routing.
Well, we have all the keys in ice anyway, so that's
right. So even then, which that is a possibility for a shutdown pet.
Yeah, we can do absolutely everything in this game now except that Turtle Rock key. I'm not quite sure what Leslie did in pod with keys. Theoretically, it's possible there's an item left over there.
I wasn't keeping track either because I was mostly just laughing at the fact that
No, but Leslie did Dark Cross from north to south, so there was no hammer yumps. So there is a potential for a key. Okay. Our tracker mentioning everything was out of there, so that's good.
Yeah, Aquahaze is our tracker, by the way. So yeah. So, but never opened the pod front door. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good way around it.
Yes. So.
Yeah, the only thing we may or may not be able to complete is Turtle Rock, and if it's only if the big key was never moved from its chest.
Right.
Well, it was taken out, shuffled around, moved between all the chests, and just put back where it was in the first place.
It's entire. So the big key can end up being on the right on the roller room, and because we had not found Fire Rod until literally once we got into Turtle Rock, or sorry, Pod. So, and I remember, and I know Leslie understandably never did the roller room because you don't have Fire Rod. Only did the the leftmost chest with the spikes and the change time room.
I was going to mention Toby's actually in Pod with 5 keys as well, but a different 5 keys, because I believe the last key is sitting on Zora Ledge, which Leslie had, which Leslie now has 6 Pod keys.
Yeah. So by extent, this could still very much be in a situation where the game could be practically over if depending on the situation, depending on what we find here. So again, I would reckon that Leslie goes over to Skullwoods first. If Skullwoods is a crystal, then we don't need to worry about we don't have to worry about have to hold our breath as to if we could find a Turtle Rock small or not. Yeah. But if it is, that's quick kill by the way. But if it is a crystal, then we don't have to worry.
But if Skullwoods is not a crystal, I think you still go up to Turtle Rock anyway. There's enough chests in there that odds are that the big key will be accessible, and if you happen to go through the entire dungeon and find out you can't finish it, at least you'll know that. But if it is accessible, it's just such a faster finish than doing anything else.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing here, because with this in mind, because that's your only dungeon you really can clear at this point. You're clearing this out, like the only possible dungeon you can really clear. And if by the time you don't find a small key, you go to Ice or Swamp. That's it. That's your only thing you can really do at that point. Just go to Ice or Swamp. You basically just go pen and diving.
So here it is. We got some pretty good active viewers here in our chat. Let us know, is the crystal Skullwoods or is it Turtle Rock? What do you think?
If I was a mod, I would do a prediction, but I'm not.
Yeah, I wish I could do that, but let us know in chat anyway. For fake, no points whatsoever, but we'll mention it if you get it right.
This is like the most very like this is not even a GT Big Key guessing game or a Blue Ball guessing game. It's just like very impromptu, and it's not even just worth anything.
Nope. Just curious what everybody thinks to get everybody a little bit involved in guessing here. We are getting TR Skullwoods, TR, TR, TR. Oh wow, TR. Everybody wants it to be TR. Chat's being mean.
I mean, you asked chat. Of course they're gonna.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, you're gonna go for the more funnier option.
Of course, we probably have some people in chat saying TR with the big key vanilla and the small key on PEDs, that we have to full clear this game.
Plus mushroom, plus mushroom.
Oh yeah. Oh no! Mushroom on PED that leads to the TR small.
That's wow. That was
literally
really what it is.
Kill on Leslie's side. I'm sorry, that was a very, very fast kill. Here it is.
Oh, okay. Turtle Rock. So at this, it's Turtle Rock.
Chat. Why do you do this to our runners? You chose Turtle Rock to be the crystal because more of you voted that way. If it actually worked that way, we'd have some pretty rough seats on stream.
Zepno. You're in the same booth as me, who rolled the seed. You're more better off pinning the blame on me than the chat.
No. See, look, the chat always blames commentator curse, so the commentators then have to blame chat in return.
Again, I'll reiterate that if it's especially a problem if the commentator in question is the one who actually rolled a seed, which is me. So
Yes,
we're gonna
yes,
see.
yes. And chat's pointing that out. Chat, we have a highlighted message here that we aren't the ones who chose the seed, though. Yes, that would be Render who rolled it.
Yeah, and Ped's dead too, because there was only a generic piece of heart, which is just boring as all get out.
I mean, it was a good check. You're there. Find out if that stupid small key could possibly be there.
I mean, yeah. I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing, because like, hey, if you saw it's a pendant, I might as well check Ped because I'm right there. Just as like the first order of business you do is check Ped in that situation. So
oh yeah,
makes sense.
Because if you end up in Turtle Rock, you find out you need that small key and you know it's on Ped. The next thing you're gonna do is go directly to Swamp.
Yes, and that's
rush the boss.
Yeah, because there's 9 items and there's 9 items there. Yeah, there's 9 items there. Of the 2, that has to be the largest of the 2 checks to pendant dungeons you can check.
Oh yeah, they're both pendant. Yeah, but like if you know it's on Ped, my line, and I forgot that both were crisp pendants. But you can just rush the bosses of both dungeons if you knew that the small key was on Ped.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you don't rush
I
rush
made a mistake earlier. That's on me.
Right. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because if you knew it's on Ped, it's like, okay, cool. We cleared the bosses. We're not worried about it. We just, because that is our win con.
Oh wow. Toby ran out of arrows in the arrow room, just enough to get that last Igor or the Mimic.
Oh, I don't know. So I don't think Leslie will have enough time to make it over there before the torches go out.
I think you're okay. It's close, but yeah, I thought it would be fine.
Yeah, you're cutting it close, but I was gonna worry if you don't make it in time.
Leslie got the fast hook shot. Oh, there's the big key. But now Leslie got the fast hook shot on that first. I want to on the first torch.
Okay, so as long as Leslie does not accidentally hit the door on attempting to get the pokey key, then he's in go mode.
Yeah, this is go for Leslie.
Again, this is dependent on if Leslie does not accidentally hit it, but
without any mechanical errors, this is go for Leslie.
Yeah, I'd rather play it at that point. I just play it safe because I'd play it safe. I don't get anywhere close to the door. I would probably just rather kill the pokey that's that while I'm on the pegs, so that I avoid getting bunny beamed. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Okay, yeah. And there it is. We are good. We got out. And that's go mode.
This is, with proper go mode. Out of logic, yes, but whatever. Who's really counting?
Hold on. Which part was out of logic that I missed?
You need all 4 keys to actually complete the dungeon.
Yeah, for this dungeon's out of logic. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, which dungeon did we finish that was out of logic? Oh, the one we haven't finished yet. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not to mention Thief's Stone.
No, that's in logic now.
Well, yeah, but at the time of the completion, it was out of logic. So
yes,
my point stands.
Why is Leslie checking chests?
Silvers. But then again, it could silvers, but it could be a case. It could be a case.
Silvers are on Lumberjack Ledge.
Well, yeah. But it could. It could be a case of Leslie just may have he wants the sea to be over, and he's probably just misremembering the fact that it's actually on Lumberjack Ledge.
Right, like the only 2 things that may be of semi-use here now would be getting gold sword, which is not a huge benefit, and another armor upgrade, which I don't think he's really looking for.
Yeah, I think the more logical reasoning, what you just pointed it out, it's either a sword or a mail upgrade.
The thing is that might have also just been autopilot. You get used to it. You go left because you always go for that chest, and by the time you get over there, you're like, well, I can't avoid this roller, so I may as well open this because I'm standing in front of it.
Now that is the more logical explanation, because it's not more over like a sword or something. It's just a case of autopiloting, also bad RNG from the ice head.
Yeah, that was really early.
Yeah, that's bad RNG. Nice.
Yeah, so to answer some chat or some questions in chat and just confirm, Leslie had no idea if Swamp was a pendant or Skullwoods was a pendant or a crystal. Oh, look, there was Ether. The only reason we found out it was a pendant was because we beat Moth and the pendant dropped from the ceiling.
Yes. So at this point now, there's now 22 possible checks for GT Big. One of them has it. 1 to 22. Get us in chat where you think it might be. If you're close, if you are exact to it or are close to it, then cool. Good on you.
Do you have a normal number? A renderer?
I don't really take part. But if I was like forced to like, if I had if I had a sword to me, and then to pick a number, I would say 11.
11. I always say 8. Anyone who's seen any one of my comments will say I've always said 8. So 11 and 8 for us. There's some good guesses in chat here. We're gonna see. And here we go. And here's the thing. Do we go left or do we go right? What do we check first? We go Hoperoom. We're hoping and hope.
Which it's at that point it doesn't really matter how you route it. It's just like the matter of how you get to it. Because we have all keys. We have tons of options.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, thinking about it, one of the reasons that a lot of people do Stalfos Room first is to make sure that you can get a small key so that you can do the full right when you go, or not full right. You can go to Compass Room when you go over there. Well, if you already have all the small keys and that's the idea behind the strat, then it just makes sense to start in Hope Room and go to Compass.
Yeah, it's one of it's the starting point for a lot of DM strats, which I feel bad for the guy who actually came up with it because this strat gets misrepresented, not misrepresented, but it gets misclassified a lot.
That's 6. Didn't get anything, but yeah, no, for sure. There's a bunch of talk about that and different ways of doing it, but I find the two most common routes in general in GT are to go to Hope Room first or Salfos into right. You do have some people that go full left.
And just to comment on it, there was a Castle Tower small in GT, so logically speaking, you need to you have to go an all dungeons route essentially. If you want to do an all dungeons route, you have to go up Castle Tower to actually go up to GT, get Castle Tower, and then others big hands 8s.
I got it.
Which you end up getting, yeah. So
I got it. Hey, so did one of our chat members. So
not the Mounties.
Congrats to being the first person in chat. But wow, that's twice. Okay, cool.
Nice.
That never happens to me.
That happened to me once, or every once in a while. If I choose to choose.
I think that's two out of my last 2 to 3 comms. I think I've gotten it right now. So I'm on a streak here.
What is even going on right now? But yeah.
Leslie's getting a little bit bodied here by the enemies in this room. The thing is, if you get a bad start in this room, it is really hard to recover.
Exactly. Yeah, but I want to comment though, because of the fact that we have a Castle Tower small key in GT. Theoretically speaking, silvers are in GT, like it always is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got a little bonk there off the crystal. Here is a boss fight over on Toby's side. Mothula. Also doing the Mothula fight. Also thinking, hey, maybe this is a crystal. That's not going to work out, but it is a good play.
Yeah, if anyone, if you've heard any of my cons, or if you're seeing me in chat, or like if I'm ever streaming, if I get my proper setup by the end of the new year, by the end of the year, you will know that I've always said that silvers are always in GT because it feels like every single time since progressive bows have been added in version 31, silvers always, for whatever ungodly reason, ends up being in GT. And I always joke that VTorp has to fix that because even though it's like just I don't think it's anything that he can do about it. But just a situation where it's kind of funny to point out.
Leslie getting through Gauntlet. Meanwhile, Toby finishing up that moth fight. Going to go to Myers. Not yet. Myers not done yet on Toby's side.
I don't.
Myers not done. Go do Meyer. Oh yeah, missing 2 crystals. Myers not done. Toby opting not to check Ped while standing in front of it.
Probably thinking it's
I wasn't looking.
He never bothered with it, according to the chat members.
That was Meyer, but
Well, he opened up yeah, but I don't think I think it's referring to the. Is it referring to Meyer? I can't remember.
It was Meyer. That was there before I even mentioned Meyer.
Right.
Before I mentioned that was there before I mentioned Ped.
Right. So I'd reckon that he may have just either not, like, probably either just like decide like, okay, it's probably not Ped until it is, or I don't know.
Yeah, but that could put him in. Oh, he checked before doing Moth. Okay, that's fine.
Thanks, Turok.
Yeah, this is going like that. That seems weird. You're standing there like that. That just creates so many opportunities for bad luck down the road.
Exactly. Yeah. But at that point, yeah. So at that point, you have the information. You may as well just kind of follow through with it. I always hate this room.
Oh, got the glitch. Nice.
Oh yeah, the little bug where it's like, oh, it's actually it looks like it's not cracked. It's not like the bomb wall wasn't cracked, but yet it was.
Yeah, the invisible hole in the wall. Oh, Leslie takes a fall.
That's not a big deal.
I think there's some question in chat. Yeah, there's a little bit of a thing where I forget exactly what causes it. I think it's a timing thing. Where if the wall blows up, is it timed with one of the land? I don't remember. It's timed with something.
I don't know. I don't know. And thanks Leslie for giving your Fred Coughlin impression with Muldrum 2.
Yeah, Muldrum chest bombs. But yeah, no, it's in specific circumstances. The wall doesn't show that it's open, even if it is. So if you hear, I think you still get the sound, so you can just walk through it.
Right. Yeah. But I think it's a timing. I think it is a thing that's tied to the torch, but I haven't really tested it.
I believe that's what it is. It's something to do with like the torches going out as it blows up or something, and it doesn't open. I am not sure either.
Yeah, I'll have to
quote us on this, but it is a specific set of circumstances that creates that glitch.
I'll have to test that for myself just so I can get some information out. And yes, I did. If when you actually pull it off, it kind of I feel like you could put like the Earthbound Sanctuary Guardian track over on top of it because it just is like, what? How?
So that's That's Leslie completing Aga 2, dropping into Ganon. Oh boy. Will Leslie finish here in first? Or
we won't know
what
until
will happen? We will
We'll-
we will let you know once it's done.
yeah. Once it's all finished up, we'll give you.
Just a reminder: there are 13 players in this race.
Yeah, 13 players.
Highlighting 2.
13 runners. In this pool, got some good names on there.
Yeah.
But here we go. Phase 3 incoming. Getting ready for getting the lamp all ready to go for Torch Glitch.
Yeah, not having silvers, Torch Glitch, very, very useful. Meanwhile, Toby's also fighting a boss. One with a few more eyes. Well, now with one less eye, but when I said it, it was true.
Point stands.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. I always hate it when Ganon decides, oh, I'm going to teleport directly into the bottom left corner right as we start this for Torch Glitch.
Yeah, and it looked like I think that the light from Leslie was the blue from Leslie was probably just muscle memory. That or just completely incidental.
Yeah. Toby gets the boss kill, going to probably head up to Turtle Rock and find out the good news. That was very scary, Leslie. Stop scaring me, please.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If you get hit by a fire bat and you're holding a direction, you move in the opposite direction of your knockback is the opposite direction of what you're holding. And that is especially dangerous if you're by a pit, because if you get hit by a fire bat and you're by a pit, you want to just don't hold anything. Hold a neutral input, because that way you don't get any knockback. And if you do hold it, then you're going to fall straight up.
Oh no, you're right. And if you fall, you have to restart Ganon. But no, Toby left hookshot behind in Mire.
Oh, that is pain. That is not a good sign.
Chat noticed because I think we were watching the Ganon fight there, but Toby left the hookshot. That's not good.
Yeah. But GG's in the chat for Leslie Pro.
Leslie, who's
crossing the bridge here. I'll give you official race time. We'll finish first on the racing move official race time of 150.32, which is also good enough for first place overall. And 5 seconds afterwards, Koi second place. That is one heck of a snipe.
Koi comes in 5 seconds after Leslie. Leslie Pro 04 comes in first by 5 seconds over second place. That is a tight finish.
What a snipe. What a snipe and what a finish.
That is tight. Well done to both of them and to our other runners who are still running. This was not a friendly seed.
No.
This was not nice. This was not nice. And we're gonna blame Renderer for that one.
Of course, as you should. As you should. Because yes, I do roll these. I am well aware that I roll some really stupid stuff, and I am not. That is not going to change anytime soon. I've rolled bad seeds in the past, and I've kind of been like, "Oh, why am I getting so much bad seeds?" And then like it all spilled one thing or another. I end up now doing this for everyone else, so everyone gets to experience my pain. So yeah, blame me. We'll see if we can get Leslie Pro in for an interview.
Yeah. To talk about that scary Skullwood Small.
Yeah, and this all just spawned off of like it all could have just the Skullwood Small and a couple other situations too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big Toby is going to be without a hookshot for quite a while. So yeah.
we're gonna see a good portion of a full clear here.
Hi, Leslie Pro. Sorry.
GG.
Thanks for the GGs. I popped off when I saw that I sniped Koi by 5 seconds.
Yeah, we were talking about that as you finished. We announced the finish, and it was like at 5 seconds behind.
Yeah. Like, oh man.
I thought I had choked that away on my silverless Ganon execution, because it's been a while since I've done silverless Ganon of any variety. So
yeah,
that
you had one of the 2 of those hits that didn't, but man, you scared me multiple times. I kept thinking you were gonna fall off with some of those Ganon positionings and bats.
Right.
Yeah, if I was on my other controller, the one I was having that weird input issue with, I definitely would have fallen off there, let's face it. When I got Smirk's glitch, I had no business walking behind his butt, because all he had to do was fart and I'd fall off.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to make that, but well done that you did.
Thanks. That was probably the most tense moment of that whole thing. The other one was Vitreous down to 1 heart, not chancing it, because, losing 2 minutes to dying to him, no, not today.
Yeah. One thing too was that we were also kind of worried about the cadaver when it came to the small key for Skull Woods, then leading into a situation where the Turtle Rock small key could have been necessary to finish the game, as if the big key did not move away from the lava chest, which is its normal location.
Yeah, definitely dodged a bullet on that one, because if that big key was vanilla, I would have had to have done additional checks, which would have gone through that whole dungeon, would have included Laser Bridge, and then worst case scenario, I scope Island before swinging into Swamp, because that would have been 10 checks total if you include the green pendant.
Yeah.
But thankfully, didn't have to touch that, didn't have to touch Ice Palace.
The thing that gave us a little bit of a scare, as Redner mentioned too, though, was that Skull Woods, that you opened that door on the right.
Yeah, with the pot key.
With the pot key, and then you were short the key to get to the back, and we were a little bit worried until it showed up right after that tempered in pod.
Yeah, took a bit of a gamble there, but the gamble paid off.
Oh, it definitely did. We were talking about it. We were like, wait, you're not in go until you find another Skull Woods key, and then it just immediately showed up.
Yeah. Then again, I don't play as nearly as much Rando as I used to, but it's the holiday season and I work retail, so there you go, right there.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the holidays is like the perfect time to play some Rando. Just chill out. Probably after a nice little break, if you're if you're still in school, like myself. Yeah, it overall, honestly, I mean, again, I'm sorry. I'm the one who rolled this catastrophe, and I have no, well, part of me, I don't really have remorse, but like for how bad it was, but like, I'm sorry for having you had to put through this catastrophe.
Hey, this was actually fun. You kidding me?
Was it?
Probably the most dirty thing this seed did was tease a bow at Lumberjack Tree, which if this were an SMZ3 and that were that particular bow, then Castle Tower would have been required, because in that rando, unfortunately, progressive bows aren't a thing yet.
Yeah, but in this particular seed, the second Castle Tower small was actually in GT, so that key
I
locked
saw
until you
that,
got in.
because I figured, okay, let's just check the right side 4 first, then go full left. Let's just hope that it's not tile room, and thankfully it wasn't.
which, funnily enough, because of the key logic for that, like logically speaking, silvers were technically required, were technically on GT, like it always is.
Well, that part doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But still,
Exactly, because
Fun Seed, these type of modes I do enjoy because it tests more than the execution. It also tests the knowledge as well as the routing and the decisions you have to make on the fly. The way I look at any time sort of key sanity or any sort of map shuffle, you jump into a dungeon without checking anything, you got a 70% chance of coming out with a crystal. So the odds are somewhat in your favor.
right.
I just want to mention back to our other runner who's still running quickly here. Toby has finished Ice Palace and is going somewhere. I was pretty sure that they've already checked the bridge check over here.
I would be surprised if they haven't.
Because I thought they jumped in the water and mirrored over here.
Nope, it didn't, apparently.
Oh, okay. So Leslie, just for some information here, Toby has completed Meyer, but has left the hookshot behind.
Oh no, you hate to see it.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, at this point, we're just waiting until they decide that it's time to go back there.
That could be
Has
a
completed ice as a result. We'll probably go into Turtle Rock and... Oh! No! No! Go back to 6! You were hovering 6! Flute to 6! Go back there!
6, 6, 6, 6.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally understand I totally get it. It's very likely that like it could have been a case of maybe they hadn't remembered, like they probably forgot, or they don't really have like a map tracker or something. And yeah, we're seeing Big Toby going back to Zora, even though we did see. Or okay, it's probably for the. It's probably for. Oh, okay, I get it.
It's for the small key.
The small key, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have enough rupees, so I was like, ooh, small key. Let's see what this happens to be.
You weren't missing any.
Toby did the complete opposite of you. Toby had the money, but did not have flippers. So Toby got Zora and not the small key.
Yeah, you weren't missing out on anything. It was just 20 rupees.
So the usual Scam King strikes again routine. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was a fun one. I need to be able to... I just hope my schedule lines up to where I can do more of these, because I know that as the calendar turns to the new year, the thoughts come along the line of, is another tournament coming up, which I'm assuming invariably is. So I want to keep my gameplay sharp, because I feel I'm getting better and better, because like I sub-3'd for the first time on combos, so I know I'm getting better. And I want to prove it with this upcoming tournament for sure.
Yeah, and for me, I'm getting into. I have a new setup coming up. I'm finally getting my dream setup of a Super NT and FX Pack Pro. Around this holiday season, and I'm hoping to get like a better capture card to make it so that I can actually stream it too, well, without it like being like suddenly freezing on me while I'm playing.
Yeah, definitely good luck with that, because having your game freeze or your frame rate go to poop in a handbasket on you is not fun, for, well, lack of a better term. And I'm trying to keep it PG.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I remember having that problem with back in season two of League, and I wasn't sure why it was doing that until I realized, oh, it was my capture card that was getting all screwed up. So yeah, it's not fun, and I'm hoping to get a good capture card. I want to get like a Elgato HD 60S, not S Plus, because I'm more concerned. I'm going to be more reserved with my money. So
Just a quick jump back to our runner here. Some talk in chat, and I have verified this myself. It seems that Toby has checked off Meyer as fully complete on their
it's a
tracker.
Oh no.
A mismark.
It could be something of maybe the wrong small key, or like the wrong map or compass maybe, or just click too many times. But it does look like Toby has marked Meyer as done, which is going to be a serious problem with that hookshot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there are a number of tracker systems out there, your own brain, pen and paper, emo tracker, etc. If you've played Randomizer, it's bound to happen that you're going to eventually, at some point, mismark your tracker. I've done it, and it is an awful, awful feeling. Feels really bad.
Yeah, I can say I in one of the recent tournaments I had a game like that where I just sat and I just stared at my computer for about 15 plus minutes until my opponent finished, and I was just trying to figure out what on earth I didn't check. You just kind of get stuck, and there's no good way around it without just starting to randomly check things and pray that you find the right location. And that's just with 216 locations in the game, that's 20 something of them are in GTs, so, but still with 150 plus locations, it's really hard to remember which one you forgot.
Yeah, at that point, you just have to go back and check again, because I know I've caught myself doing that with Kakariko a couple of times, embarrassingly enough. But hey, it could happen to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
But with that, I'm going to call it a night, because I do got to work tomorrow. Thanks for the feature. Thanks for having me. And I'll see y'all again real soon. That I promise.
Take it easy, man.
And if I don't
and if
I don't get into a race next week, everybody enjoy the holiday season, wherever you may be.
Yeah, I'll just echo that thing. I hope you really enjoy this stuff. If you're new to this, and if you feel like you want to join this, you definitely want to check it out. It's the holiday season. You have a good if you feel like you want to like be on these, or at least learn the game itself, join the Discord if you want to, and learn all the tricks and all the stuff, and even participate in these races yourself. It's quite a nice community. We're very we're really helpful. There's always someone to ask about. Close enough.
That's not what I intended to do, but the Discord works.
Yeah, close enough, yeah. Yeah, definitely want to like check it out for yourself, because it is great.
Absolutely. And with that, y'all have a good night, and I'll see you next time.
Take it easy. Okay, so we're now looking at a situation with we're just hoping that like Big Toby realizes the mistake that just happened. Because I've mentioned this before, and here and there, mismarking something feels really, really bad. I've had it happen numerous times, and Zapno, you can attest to that as well, right?
Oh yeah, as I actually got knocked out of a tournament from a mismark. That was the worst feeling I think I've had in a rando race ever.
That happened to me, actually. It's funnily enough, it actually happened to me in a cross keys tournament. I was very mad at myself for just because. So what happened was I found Eastern Palace, and it was the dark north fortune teller. It's above Village of Outcasts. I autopilot, not realizing that the big key for Eastern Palace was in the cannonball chest of Eastern Palace. So I am like scratching my head. And I'm also getting more and more agitated about why I can't find the stupid key, until I eventually see. I'm gonna forfeit as soon as I see my opponent finish. and they did finish, and I'm questioning where the heck did it went, and it wasn't until I realized that I completely mismarked it. I autopilot, and I didn't check the chest, and I was very, very mad at myself, and I was just I was very, very mad at myself, and it's never fun. It's not fun at all.
No, I definitely get that. And just to any viewers or people in chat that are still around, we are joined in our written chat here in the Twitch chat by Scupula and Cool Papa Bell, who did come in 3rd and 4th place in this race, respectively. So congratulations to both of you and GG.
Yeah, their times were 1:54:05 and 2 hours 53 seconds, respectively.
Unfortunately, to both of you who may not know, Scupula mentioning Lol Nice Hookshot, Toby has unfortunately left Hookshot behind in Mire, and has marked it as complete, so we may be waiting for this item for a bit.
Yeah, that is if we can go for that as long as we can, as long as we could.
Yeah, I unfortunately am not sure that Toby's going to find that particular location at this point.
Yeah, it's just dependent on if they, because I think they still have a couple more checks to go.
Yeah, but at some point you run out, and if you have everything marked, you stare at it for a bit. But in a big late race like this, it's difficult to try to figure out what to do. If it's a tournament race, you sit there, or a 1v1, you sit there until your opponent finishes, staring at your game or your tracker, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's never fun, and it's not fun at all.
No, it's not. It's the worst feeling.
So if by the time we don't get to see the end of the Big Toby's finish, I will mention our schedule that's coming up for tomorrow, for Friday, December 17th. Starting off the day, at least currently, there isn't any official channels for these yet, but starting off the day at 2 p.m. or 2:10 p.m. we have a match. We have the I think this is game 2 of the conference final stage of JK Law and Oops All Foxes, which this will be the Wisdom game. This is between Radical Sniper 99 and Zeruvian. Both players are great runners in themselves, and I know Zeruvian pretty well. At 4 p.m. we have the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver Manipulus tournament matchup. We have Worcester. Everyone knows about Worcester. Well-known Pokemon speedrun player, Tucker Lay Rats, and Effective Ashes. That's again happening at 4 p.m. Oh,
Toby's in Mire.
Toby's back in Mire.
You continue in a second, but Toby's back in Mire.
Right? Yeah.
They figured it out, or they figured it out.
They figured it out. Yeah. But continuing on, we have we have a couple of other league matches. We have Invite League Season 4. The Invite League. At this point, it's probably the conference finals. Yeah, it is conference finals. Against Dr. Marty 0 and In the Name of DT, with the spoilers in WJP DTB. So keep that in mind. And then we also have another matchup. This is the Power Division for the same team for JK Law and Oops All Foxes. Cadeston versus Chloe Prower over on the Espanol side. We have there's the Speed Game in Espanol Winter 2021 marathon that's going on. We have Super Mario 74 and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. And then following it up, we have our daily race at 11 p.m. Eastern time. These are all in Eastern. And for the mode, once I pull it up here, the mode that this daily is going to have is called Blitz mode. So what that is you're supposed to get all the items necessary to complete all the pendants. Grab grab the Master Sword off the pedestal. There's only the Master Sword. Kill Aghanim 1, and then grab the Triforce off the the Pyramid Ledge. Because there's no Moon Pearl there either. So yeah, all those channels except for the ones for Speed Game for the Speed Game Espanol Winter Marathon, they do not have channels for. So there's also a couple more.
I was going to mention this, and it's kind of been mentioned in chat. I think you've mixed up Blitz and Lightspeed.
Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, Blitz speed is what I was describing was Lightspeed. Blitz mode is something else. I don't remember.
But Blitz, I believe, has just got a lot more items, a lot more copies of the items, and it's intended to be a very, very fast race.
That's ludicrous speed. Correctly. Did the copies of the items, the copies of the items? I think that you're talking about ludicrous speed. A ludicrous speed is the one where you have four copies
there it is.
Of multiple multiplications. Okay, there we go.
Four. Drosy giving us the confirmation there. Thank you. Four crystal fast Ganon. Start with boots, activated flute, pearl mitts, master sword, and lamp.
Yes. So it's funny. The thing about Blitz mode and Lightspeed is that in my mind, when I see the word Blitz, I think fast, right? You know, it's supposed to be a fast mode. And same thing with like Lightspeed, and I get it confused with Lightspeed because I think that's because it's so confusing because you don't even know, or not. For me, it's been so long since I played a Lightspeed or a Blitz mode that I get those two confused pretty quickly. And yeah, what Zafno was referring to was it's the copies of the items that
you're right. Yeah.
The quadrupling of the quantity of the items is actually a mode called ludicrous speed, and that's on the ALTTP ladder for next season. I think next season.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Where the idea is that so how I like to describe it is that all the items are quadrupled, meaning that it's a faster go mode. You also have to clear all dungeons, but how I like to describe it is that it's not quad. All the items got quad damage, or not quad damage, but quad quantity. Because yes, I am a cultured bear that says that Quake is a thing and quad damage is awesome.
I'm just kind of bringing back to Toby here. Toby has picked up that hookshot we were talking about. And it looks like we're going into Turtle Rock. Thankfully, we know that this will not be locked, so that is nice for Toby. And 6 heart max, no hearts to find is part of that mode, which is unpleasant.
Well, yeah, because the reason why is because there's no hearts, there's no heart pieces, containers, rupees, bombs, or arrows. But to compensate for it, there's always going to be 20 rupees off of the hoarders, off of the bush crabs, and there's also always going to be and there always will be bombs on the there will always be bombs in the on the tree poles, and yes, also our tracker pointing out the compasses are taken out because as we mentioned before, they're practically useless outside of boss shuffle. But yeah. So that is ludicrous speed. And I still think quad damage is awesome because quad damage literally melts every enemy on the map.
So Toby is in Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, at this point now you will have the hook shot, and that we'll be able to clear it from there.
You know, I kind of Can of Burnham must have been in GT somewhere, right?
I'd reckon
point?
so. I'd
It
reckon
had to
so.
be that or the back of Swamp. Because we've now done like ice. We did the front of Swamp. We're being told, I think, where Cane and Burn actually was. It was in GT. This is the nice thing of having completed runners in chat. They can let us know where they found things. Pre-Moldorm chest. Okay. Yeah, that is not a helpful place to find that item. You pretty much can only use it in that one room before Aga 2 to any meaningful use. Chat talking about blind. Yeah, well, that would be very useful for blind, but not when it's at pre-Moldorm at the top of GT. Yeah, the blind fight in this particular seed was rough. The thing is that the game did not expect you to do it then because of where that Thieves Town Smolky was. So the game did expect you to get to blind much later than our on-screen runners attempted the first time, and likely most of our off-screen runners as well. We'll be heading off to the boss here. Toby also grabs this compass that is not at all helpful.
Yeah.
Also not sure what he's looking for in that particular chest. Taking a quick look here. We do have a few more finishers. We got... I always forget how to pronounce this. Shire in 5th. Shire in 5th. 4 minutes behind Cool Papa Bell. 3.5 minutes. And then there's a 12-minute gap for Joss in 6th. And another 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes later... Nope, 3.5 minutes later. I swear I can do math. Black Wax has finished in 7th.
Yeah, and yeah, with the times being as low as they are, with the times being as high as they are, this is definitely a one C that is this is a pretty rough one. it makes perfect sense too. So I don't know if we'll be able to get the finish in, but yeah, like get Big Toby's finish in beforehand. Because we're supposed to end this off at around like 11. Like the time frame that we set up is for around 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah. So, if we don't get to the end of this finish for Big Toby, I do implore you to go over to Big Toby's channel and just cheer him on. Cheer them on. Just just be nice. That's all. Going to GT though.
I don't know what a GT. Yeah, there are 2 runners actually out of our 13 still running, including Toby. We have had 4 forfeits out of our 13 runners, and on a seed like this, I can kind of understand that.
Yeah, it's a seed where you start off in a low percent situation, where and if you're not well versed in low percent situations, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, low percent hammer is not something that is pleasant to have to be doing if you're not comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the thing too. That's why I always like to say that having to practice, practicing the low percent fights is very nice, and the practice is really good at giving you specific situations that would otherwise be hard. Like a long time ago, before we had casual boots as our main standard mode, regular standard definitely gave you opportunity to try to give you certain situations where normally you would have to you would have a sword or something on you. So like you did a bomb start, you would have to be one of the more tougher ones to do because you only have 10 bombs to get through the escape. Or something like Burna, which I still to this day hate that start, where you have to be very conservative with your magic and being aware that every time you use you activate the Burna, it cuts into your magic before it starts draining. So
Toby, hold out your sword. That will help you. You can get them to turn without you can turn without them turning. Okay, we got it. Anyways.
Yeah, it is a case where I guess it's also probably just. I mean, okay, yes. Now he's using it there.
Yeah, there they go. Yeah, use the sword. Like if you can move up and down, and it doesn't, and the mimics don't quite change their direction with you. The other thing in that room is that you can, as long as you dash before you start moving up, you have a guaranteed key dash, and you can just go straight through the key door. Pod and Super Bunny for swords. Is being mentioned. Oh, yeah, somebody asking about Super Bunny. It's the cave that you do the climb on East Death Mountain in the Dark World.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, but you normally do that as a bunny in the intended route of the game.
No.
Before randomization?
No, this is a situation where if you had no Moon Pearl, That's where it gets Super Bunny Cave. Super Bunny Cave gets its name because you activate Super Bunny state from falling down as a bunny.
Right. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking of. It's late at night here now. Oh yeah, because bits are in the Dark World. That wouldn't even make sense. I have no idea what I was thinking. Looks like we got a Lanmo fight here.
The MCS meaning is maps, compasses, and small keys. That's where it gets it's the there is a terms list, but I probably say it's very, very outdated. Very, very outdated.
Yeah, that's you'll see that a lot in different things. MC, I think it's B for big key and S for small.
MCBS, MCSB, yes, is maps, compasses, small keys, and big keys. Or at that point, you just call it key sanity.
Yeah, but like any combination of those, if it's not all of them, will come up.
Yeah, so what Scopula put out, there is a presets list that has the different modes that can be run based from our kind bot that was made by Synac / Robot. That covers not only just Link to the Past randomizer, but also covers Super Metroid, Link to the Past combo randomizer, or SMC3 for short, and the Chrono Trigger Jets of Time randomizer. It has its own added stuff for that game.
We do actually have another finisher. Josh Bittner has finished in 8th place in our race today, about 6 minutes behind the 7th place finisher.
Yeah, the exact time of which was 2:25:45.
Ooh, Toby falls. Okay, this is not a horrible place to fall. You don't really take damage unless you fall on one of the spikes. Get back up and do it again.
Yeah, I mean, and also to be fair, Toby has a lot of hearts available, so he's not in they're not in immediate danger.
No, especially considering they seem to be avoiding the spikes on every fall. That dash felt like it went right through Moldorm, including the tail. Using dash strats here to get right through Moldorm. There it is. And that's a finish. That was a lot of hook shots.
Also not bothering Moldorm too.
Yeah, that chest. You know where Bo is. The only possible thing that could be is a sword.
So to answer a question in chat, if the hammer does more damage to Moldorm, it's actually the same amount of damage as Tempered Sword.
Yeah, Tempered Sword swing or dash will be the same. Technically, if you do a spin, it will be a little bit more with the sword, but
yeah,
if
it does.
If you're having a bit of issues, just dashing is perfectly fine.
The way that it kind of goes is that if you have a fighter sword, the spin does master sword damage. If you have a master sword, it does tempered sword damage. If you have a tempered sword, it does gold sword damage, and gold sword damage and gold sword. It doesn't matter if you spin or slash; it does the same amount of damage.
Oh. Our 8th place finisher has joined us here in chat and is telling us that the last sword was in Helma room on the way up the climb. All our runners just avoided it.
No big deal.
But again, yeah, that check, it's one of the ones, it's like just enough out of the way that you have tempered. You're not really going to go grab that. What are the odds that it's actually what you want?
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. We have ourselves our gaining fights for Big Toby, and after this is done, we'll go ahead and we're gonna have to call it from here because we're running a little bit over. So yeah, this fight won't be too tough for Big Toby. I can imagine Big Toby also knows how to do the Masters, the Silver Rose fight as well.
Okay, phase 3 halfway done here. Yeah, Ganon getting this nice bottom left corner, no torch glitch. That's going to be unfortunate.
Should still be okay because half match X, I think.
Yes, and a blue potion. Just unfortunate. Should be good. Yep, that's 3 hits out of the 12. Yeah, 12. I had to think about that for a second. It's 12.
To answer the question from one of our runners who actually finished, Josh Bentner, there actually was the other bow was on Lumberjack Ledge, and technically speaking, the silvers were technically on GT because the other Castle Tower small was locked behind GT.
Yeah, so nobody was getting that item. Unless you don't know Silverless Ganon.
Yeah.
At all.
Which, since Big Toby is doing fine on this fight, there's no way that. Yeah, I will mention this too. Silverless Ganon is a very important trick to learn if you want to play this game, or at least if you want to at least get a branch off from having to use silvers for the fight.
Yeah, once you get over the basics and the basic kind of movement and the routing and everything, it's a very, very important glitch to learn. And there goes Ganon for Big Toby, who will be crossing the bridge and finishing in 9th place in our 13-person race.
Yeah,
get your GGs in chat.
That will be a finish of 2. A finish of 2:36.27. That actually marks the end of the race, and I'm also gonna we're just gonna go ahead and just end it here. Thanks to Big Tubby and Leslie Pro for racing. Thanks for Zepno for joining us on this catastrophe. Cretaceous, our tracker. Follow those as well. Give them every one of those people that I just mentioned to follow, as long as myself, Professor Renderer. I am a good bear. You might, but. Yeah. Again, we won't get an interview for Big Toby. Just up from time, just for time constraints. But either way, thanks to everyone watching. And we'll have a good rest of your evening, and hope you have a good holidays.